Let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Here's Wilson.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Chargers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them, and an absolute shock for the quarterback, because he went into it, he saw the numbers we saw, he watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one,
nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Nick Bonito coming in there to record the sack.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their 2nd down call is going to look like now.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. It's caught on the right side at Smith. They'll give him 4 yards there. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away.
That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
3rd and 2, now Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Blake Gillikin on the punt now on 4th down.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return, and it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop.
Now Fields.
He's going to flip one out here. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Partner, on my spot sheets, I highlighted turnover margin because we remember they turned it over 4 times last week. So another one here in the first quarter. This isn't the way they want to go.
No, not even close. And it's not something they even imagine because the amount of time that we know that they spend in practice talking about what they need to get done, working on it, showing them how to take care of the football, and emphasizing what it means in terms of winning. They've got to just be puzzled right now that they're not taking care of the ball better.
They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
He was taken to the 22-yard line. It's the Broncos. And the Broncos personal.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. There's Wilson.
That's going to be caught by Judy. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Well, they were looking to throw, holding in the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
We're scoreless after 1. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. Wilson now off the bootleg. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. What a tough spot here as they approach the line of scrimmage. A long way to go to try to pick up this first down.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
4th down, Wilson trots off, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Denver field goal.
The kick by McManus is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Past the 20 for a short gain, second down.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Back to throw. Fields. Throw over the middle into the hands of the tight end Parham. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Now it's Fields. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Here's Fields. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. The solid stiff arm. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. So from the 17 now, here's a first and 10.
The Chargers, first down. First and 10 at the 17-yard line.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This caught left side by the tight end Parham. Facing a second and 3. Ball on the 10.
A 7-yard pickup brings up second and 3.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, third and 1.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Third and 2, Fields. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
It's a gain of 8 yards. Brings up fourth down and 1.
On fourth down, Fields. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And the Chargers are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Now movement up front. I think they're going to get one of the Charger linemen. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Following the penalty, they'll go back to the run game. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A great effort there. His second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers have moved out in front. So, partner, was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
Now they'll put a receiver in motion left.
Fields trying to throw for it.
And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes can prove risky there. It worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
This will be a return from deep in the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Got an open man here. It's K.J. Hamler.
And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
Another big play as they get 28 out of that one.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing is Wilson. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game. It has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
They go play action now. Wilson. That's going to be caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Cortland Sutton, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are once again back in front. McManus's point after is good. And the lead is now 2. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
The Charger drive about to get going.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. On play action, Fields.
This pass complete to Higgins. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields.
He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the 1st half.
Fields throwing again.
They'll find Everett there, complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Now a first down throw. Fields. Complete. Smith has it. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. So it's first and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Fields. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And he's into the clear. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
Brandon, we spent time with this team before the game, and there was never any indication that they did not like their kicker.
Well, it shows right now that they didn't like their kicker. Why couldn't they just put it through the goalpost and take the lead?
That is going to be the question that has to be answered. I don't know about you, but I'm skipping my flight. I'm going to the post-game press conference to find out what they were thinking.
Instead of playing conservative, they go through the air, and what a stunning turn of events. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Chargers going to get the football first here in this second half, and they trail as we get back underway. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he loses the football a second time. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And that has to be... because you know that they had something set up there for this first drive of the second half. It wasn't the fumble.
Sometimes no matter what you go over at halftime, no matter...
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. The Charger drive about to get going. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, you know, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Well, looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw going into the hands of Williams.
A gain of 12 yards. And the Chargers first down.
On first down, Fields able to find Higgins. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Throwing again is Fields. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
In motion, the tight end. On 2nd and 10, Fields. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted.
Picked up by Caden Stearns.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
Well, Charles, just some visibly frustrated players and coaches on that sideline right now because those halftime adjustments didn't work. The turnover problems continuing here in the second half, and the defense now sitting pretty comfortably as a result of that pick six.
Hey, that's a great observation too, Brandon, because they did make adjustments at halftime. But how about this other group staying a step ahead despite whatever happened in that other locker room? No surprise they're leading, and it's appropriate that those defenders got to add to the lead directly.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The Charger drive about to get going.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On 2nd and 10, Fields.
That's complete to the tight end, Everett. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Fields now to throw.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the second. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is caught. And he's not going to get to the marker. And that's a turnover on downs.
I know, without even asking, without even looking in your direction, that you are not a fan of that call.
Oh, I wish you would look, Brandon, because I was actually thinking this would be the perfect time for a fake.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. This doesn't make any sense to me at all. This deep in your own territory. Look, I'm all for being unconventional. That part's cool, and I get it. But this deep, I just don't think it's the right time to make that call.
Wilson, he's going to keep it.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Russell Wilson. A 4-yard touchdown scamper.
And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is now 24.
Broncos 32, Chargers 8.
The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Fields on 1st down. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time.
Picked off by Justin Simmons.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, They got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Steps away to his left. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
This pass caught by Hamler. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
And they'll run the end around here with Judy. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now we give up the middle to Williams. Third down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I can hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Fields throw there, taken in by Smith. And he goes down at the 26. A pickup of 13, and that last play began at the 13. First down. And they run the option here on 1st and 10. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 14 yards that time, and a first down on the keeper.
That's another Chargers first down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw. Fields. Throw right side, pulled in by Higgins. Throwing again on 2nd down. Fields. And that one complete. And now a fumble. The ball's out. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. And defensively, maybe an opportunity miss there.
No doubt about it. When that ball's out, all you're thinking about as a defender is, this is our chance to make a huge play. Instead, he's able to recover his own fumble. Big sigh of relief.
Yeah, usually those wide receiver fumbles, there's open space around for the defense, but not there. He hops right back on it. On 2nd and 2, Fields. That's complete. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. The Broncos say they have it. They do. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it? Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Well, at least it wasn't a turnover like the last drive. You'd think they'd make an adjustment and be ready to make up for that turnover. Instead, Just another big play for the defense on that snap.
To try again after the sack. Wilson. He's got a man. Complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he'll be close to a 1st down at the Chargers' 29. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Wilson finds his tight end Oliver here outright. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just got to give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. This one swung out to Williams. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. McManus's point after is good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On 1st down, it's Fields. Dancing to his left. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Now it's Fields. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27. Now movement up front. I think they're going to get one of the Charger linemen. Rashawn Slater, first-round pick in 2021, guilty there. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Again, Fields. It's caught. Smith. And he's going to get this down near the 25. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Looking to throw again on second down. Fields. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. It is a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Now the Charger offense will stay on the field as they'll line up to go for the 2-point try. Now receiver in motion left. It's complete. And he will get in for the 2 points to get this back to a 3-score game. So they go with the pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational. You have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
The Charger drive about to get going. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And this one complete to Smith. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
And the slot man goes in motion left. And one last throw here for Fields. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And the Broncos come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.